last thing, the most important piece, is we're going to take the North and never give it back.
Subscribe.
Take that. Take that.
Welcome to 3 Point Stance Pod, where we don't claim to be experts. We just give our takes. Take it or leave it.
We'll be fine either way. Let's go.
Hello 3 Point Stance viewers. This is Octavius Vernell Brown reporting for 3 Point Stance Podcast. Call me OV for short. Take a second to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It helps the show in a big way. You are tuned into Bear Bites, our version of a Bears News Happy Hour with fresh appetizers to whet your Bears News appetite. You ready? Let's go. Nate Davis was spotted at practice on the final day of OTAs. The team finally feels whole, and fans won't have to worry and speculate any longer about where certain players are. It feels so different from last offseason, right? Bears fans have been getting good news by the boatload lately. During a post-practice interview session, Coach Eberflus confirmed Darnell Mooney is close to a return. When asked would Mooney be ready for training camp, he confirmed he will. In other injury update news, Coach Matt Eberflus said, quote, Eddie worked his tail off when it came to his rehab. Then revealed Eddie Jackson is back practicing. Coach Matt Eberflus said Eddie has been doing individual drills the last couple sessions, but worked into some team reps on Wednesday. Good to hear our defensive back leaders are showing up and being examples for a relatively young defensive backfield. Speaking of our young DBs, second-year safety Elijah Hicks had an interception off Justin Fields. The ball was tipped by TJ Edwards, who was signed during free agency this year. Our coaches take pride in creating turnovers, so this is huge for Hicks entering his sophomore campaign. Also, a reminder to Bears fans, veteran minicamp starts June 13th to 15th. There is buzz that the Minnesota Vikings have been receiving trade calls about Danielle Hunter. Bears fans, I'm sure, would like to know if Ryan Poles was on the other end of one of those calls. The edge rush position continues to be a concern, and fans are getting anxious approaching training camp. Last few notes, Luke Getsy likes the progress of Tyler Scott. Chase Claypool continued to sit with the soft tissue injury that occurred during last week's OTA session, but Getsy says Claypool and Justin Fields' relationship and connection has grown in strides. I assume he's back for veteran minicamp next week. They are just being cautious. Thank you for taking the time to tune into Bear Bites with 3 Point Stance Podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications to be notified when new content drops. Don't forget to follow Vil and the podcast on Twitter at 3 Point Stance Pod, and as we always say here at 3 Point Stance Podcast, stand for what you believe in. What you believe in. Written by Jonathan Vil Baskerville, creator and host of 3 Point Stance Podcast. All rights reserved.